Hello everybody and welcome back to another one of 75 Days of Kingdom Hearts, where we go over different type of topics, discussions over the course until the release of the game, which is going to be on January 29th of 2019. Now, we've been doing a lot of discussion. We've talked about Xehanort's control, we probably could have gone more into detail about that, but I really want to keep that one brief because if we go into all the different discussions, it's going to be a very, very long topic, and we're going to be sitting here for an hour, maybe more, being honest. So, I was having a conversation with someone who is in my chat, left a couple comments for me across my videos, and a topic came up. Now, in my who is the player and how old is Ventus, I implied a couple things and I said a couple things. First off, I said that Vin is a puppet. Well, at least my theory is that he is a puppet. Or could be a puppet. Let's phrase it that way. He could be a puppet. And by saying he's could be a puppet, that means if I make a mistake, I give a proper preface. Done. With that said, of course, other thoughts started rolling in my head. That's normally a dangerous thing to happen because I start thinking about different things, and something came up. In my previous video, I talked about how it is very well possible, well, I mentioned it. It is very well possible that we will fight 13 Xehanorts, with his heart taking over Xigbar, Demyx, Marluxia. Marluxia is one I forgot to mention about amount of control, feelings of betrayal, things like that. There was another thought that populated my brain, and it got me thinking, and I'm not sure if it was a good thought. So, here's the question. Let's go ahead and go back to how old is Vin? I said in that video that Vin doesn't look like he's aged today. Now, I could be wrong on that. Maybe it's the hardware versus the new hardware, and seeing his legs and his thing looks entirely symmetrical, like it's supposed to be the same size. I could be wrong, and I'll apologize if that's the case, and he has grown. But could you do the same thing to all the Union leaders? So 5 people. Blaine, Marluxia, who we already have, or well, it'd be Lorium, but whatever, and the other 3, because I can't remember their names at the moment. Is it possible to take them out of the sleeping world, take their heart specifically, out of the sleeping world and put it into a puppet, and make another Keyblade Master? Well, make a Keyblade Master. Basically, all we're doing is we're transferring their essence into a doll. That doll is now able to move around, summon a Keyblade, the Keyblade that they use in the game, and that's where this gets really dangerous as a thought. Now, Nomura is known for huge twists and things that just don't make sense, which is why, with some of these theories, you have to go, well, even some of my own theories, you got to go, well, it's logical, but is it Nomura logical? And the answer in a lot of these cases is no. We don't know. Sorry, bother me. But let's say we take Blaine. God damn it, it's gonna bother me what their names are. We take Blaine. We take all the other Union leaders. We put them into dolls. And because of the time difference between when Vexen was first working for, well, first knowingly working for Xehanort versus now working for him, could he have found a way to wipe memories? So you take all the skills of Blaine, because we're assuming Blaine or Brian or whatever is a skilled Keyblade master. A strong one at that. We take him and we put him in a puppet. The puppet takes on all of his attributes, his Keyblades, things like that. And then we wipe the memory of who he is, not what he is. Now we go, you are another vessel. Hold on. Down to Keyblade. Sorry, I saw the scene in DDD, and when I played DDD, and I thought that was just way too convenient for him to not be furious that Axel interfered, Lee, whatever. So, thinking about that, could that be possible? Because right now we're all assuming that we know exactly who the 13 Seekers of Darkness are. With one or two people really missing, and that's normally Data Riku, Shion, and things like that. Young Xehanort, Old Xehanort, Xigbar, bam, 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 bam. People have these lists, and there's a lot of them that are really consistent. There's only about 2 to 4 that change, depending on what translation you use. It's different types of things, such as the Marluxia translation of being the only organization versus the new organization, things like that. But is it possible that we're going to have a whole bunch of puppets running around, all able to summon Keyblades? And when we get to that point, they're filled with darkness, we have to fight them. And this actually would be a really good way of... Ooh. We're going to save a topic that just popped into my head for a little bit later. But the conversation becomes... So I've been talking for a while. The conversation becomes... Is it possible to create dolls like this in order to basically propagate a series of basically mindless puppets for Xehanort? So now we have 4, because we all assume Ventus is going to be with the Guardians of Light. Again, I'm not sure if that's a good assumption to have, but it's like right there on the tip of the nose, tip of your tongue. You want it to be true, but no more, that crafty bastard probably won't let it be true. With that said, it is possible, if Vin is a puppet, for Xehanort to do it to others. Coming back at the end of DDD, if he knows where the sleeping world is, he can just wake up those 4 hearts. Well, 3 hearts, sorry. 3 hearts, put them into puppet bodies, wipe their memory, possess their hearts. And then all of a sudden, you have a very, very 3 brand new strong Keyblade masters. It gets into a conversation though, like with the Keyblade Fusion, and I forget if I mentioned it today or the day before yesterday, about transforming a Keyblade into something else. Has Marluxia always had a Keyblade? We just don't know it because he's a master and he can transform its shape into a scythe. These are really big conversation pieces, and I don't think I saw anyone talking about it. I don't think I saw anyone mentioning it. Now, I could be wrong. I really could. And if that's the case, I apologize. I apologize to the creators, small ones, big ones, medium ones, people like me who have 35 subscribers at the time I recorded this video. All across the board. I apologize if I accidentally did lateral thinking, or if I saw your video and I'm repeating something you may have said about that. I think it's very well possible that a Keyblade could be changed in such a radical shape, because we are seeing radical changes. Infinity Hammer, or Infinity Badge. The Frozen Keyblade. I don't think it has a name yet. Mirage Staff. Get the name, Nano Arms, and the Monsters Inc.'s Keyblade. I know it has a name, I just don't remember what it is. These are radical changes to the Keyblade, and I'm going to give some thought here, and this is just kind of so it can fit the universe. More than likely, the reason he can't hold the forms is because he is a new person at doing this, and Sora probably will be able to learn how to keep those forms longer. But with that said, I think it's a very interesting thing to discuss. If you can if you can make a puppet, such as Shion or Data Riku or Dark Riku or Repliku or whatever he's called these days, and basically create a small army of Keyblade wielders to fight the forces of the Guardians of Light. You'll wipe their memory, tell them that those are your enemy, that they killed your parents, and you need to get revenge. You can do all of that and not even have to lift your own Keyblade to do it. With that said, I've been rambling on for 10.5 minutes. I'm actually watching a timer right now to kind of reduce the length of my videos and be a little bit more on focus and more on point. The idea of being able to bring back specifically the Union leaders, so that's going to be 3 more bodies that are Keyblade wielders, and they are strong Keyblade wielders, because that's what the Dandelions were supposed to be. You take those guys, you do exactly that. You put them in a puppet bodies, you wipe their minds of at least of their memories. If they ask, why are we having these crazy dreams, you say, oh well, that's just a dreaming of remembering the time of fairy tales. Some people are special and they remember that. It could explain why we can't, or at least I don't think all the chess pieces have been identified, but it would explain why some of those pieces are not identifiable, because there were a couple I couldn't find an actual image for, as far as their emblems and things. With that said, I'm going to go ahead and close out the subject today before I ramble on and spoil the next video, which is a really interesting thought. Really interesting. And I know it's come up once or twice, but I want to put my own talk on it. So if you don't want to hear me whore myself out like I do at the end of each of these videos, go ahead and stop here. Thank you so much. Like, comment, subscribe. It really does help me out, and I am trying to build the channel into something bigger. So I am currently saving up for an Elgato, and I do have a Patreon. I also take donations through Twitch when I'm streaming. I also take bits and other forms of donations. I am looking to save up for an Elgato and a PS4 Pro. That way I can stream the game when it comes out at the best quality with the no scenes cut out. I am afraid that with Square Enix they are going to ask that cutscenes be cut and blocked from recording. That way they can go ahead and keep as much down low as possible as people begin to play through the game. With that said, your support would be appreciated, but it's not required. That's the reason I always put this part at the end of the video. I do have a Twitter, a Twitch. Please reach out to me. If you have any questions, comments, or thoughts about my videos, bam, pop over to me, let me know what's going on, and I will be glad to answer any questions that you have. Well, any questions about my theories, or maybe about me, but not my family. Okay? Alright. Well, good night, good morning, or good afternoon, whatever time of day it happens to be for you, and may joy be to you all.